Hi, everyone. We'll go ahead and get started. Thanks for joining our webinar series. Today, we're going to go over our AI companion Joy through the OnScreen app. You see two of me because I'm going to share my screen through my phone so that you can see what you should be seeing on your app. So I'm going to go ahead and share that for us. Great. So as you can see, we're here on the home page of the OnScreen app. The first thing we are going to select is Settings. And through settings, you'll be able to scroll down and see the settings for the AI companion. So it automatically comes enabled. If you do not want that enabled and you want to turn that off, you can go ahead and disable that, and the app would have to restart. So I'm not going to do that right now. So the AI companion is enabled. Again, if this might be confusing for your loved one, this is where you would turn that off. Or if you just decide to use the on-screen platform for video calling or other features, you could turn that off there. Now, here is also send AI notifications to caregivers. So this would send a notification to your mobile app when your loved one completes an interaction with Joy or when something concerning is identified, like a medication check is answered and says they haven't taken their medication. But also if you do other routines, which I'll show you in a minute, it'll give you kind of feedback of how that interaction went and give you a transcription, or maybe it'll show the painting that they made together. So that will give you the notifications. And here in our AI companion settings, this is one way to get to this screen. So you can really customize how Joy speaks to your loved one. So through these settings, you can see here for interests, it says specify the interests that Joy can talk about with your loved one. So if there's hobbies that they like, if there's something in their past or something in their work life that they really enjoyed, you could put that here, and Joy will know to talk about those kind of things with your loved one. Here in family, you can also provide information. So maybe that's just identifying close family members to your loved one, or interesting facts that might be useful for them. That those features or those members here could be listed, and then Joy knows also to talk about those family members. And then here is our do not discuss. So this is where you can list topics that should be avoided in conversation. You don't need to have anything in here if you don't like, but if there are some things that maybe agitate your loved one or just upset them, this is something that you could put here, and Joy will know to not talk about those things. And then lastly, in those settings, you can choose the persona. So the woman Joy here is our just normal AI companion that comes up. You can also select it to be an older woman who comes up and speaks. And then we also have some features like we have a puppy, we have a kitten, and we also have a teddy bear. Again, regular Joy here will come up, but if you wanted to change any of those, that's where you would do that. And then you would just click Save Settings, and then all of those features would show up. And you could keep coming back and editing those if you'd like. So again, this is on the main settings page that was found on the front, right here up at the top. Now, another place that this can be accessed is this Joy tab at the very bottom in the middle. Let's select that. So this settings bar up here in the top right corner, you can select that and you will get to the same page that we just went through. Now, this is where you can access the results of some of the routines. So first, I'm actually going to walk through how you set up a Joy routine, and then we'll come back to this screen. So two ways. First, you can set it up through this Joy tab with the plus button up top. And this page will come up with Joy Check-in. Now you'll see that there's many options. You can do A friendly visit which will just talk about their interest, keep them company. A general wellness check-in, which is talking more about health and well-being. Medication, pain and happiness, meal check, hydration, physical activity, sleep quality, hygiene, safety, and then we have some more friendly ones like a joke of the day, memory lane, brain teaser, trivia, or they can create a painting with joy. So now any of these can be selected. For this purpose, I'll just do a general friendly visit. It'll take you to the bottom. I'll select next. Now you can select what day you would like for this friendly visit to come through, or it could be every day. So you could just select that daily button and all of them will be selected, or you could unselect a couple. Maybe you only want it 3 days a week. And then you'd specify the time. So I'll put here 4 o'clock, confirm, save. Let's see. And now we'll see on this routines tab at the bottom that now we have a general friendly visit weekly on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4 p.m. So this is where you would access all of those Joy Companion routines that you've put in place, just under the routine tab. And now on the routines tab, you can also do the same thing that we just did with that button at the top. Now there's a couple other options which we'll go over in a later webinar, but for this purpose, again, you would check Joy check-in, and then you would go through the same process and that check-in would appear here. Now these routines, these are all AI companion check-ins that I've put in place. You can choose to edit one if you'd like. It takes you through the same process. Maybe I just wanted to change the times that I'm doing it, and maybe make that for 2 o'clock instead. Okay, save. And so now that has been updated to now a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, meal check at 2 p.m. You can also pause these routines. So if I select that pause button, now it's paused. So until that is reinstated, those check-ins will not come on the television. And if you want to unpause that, you would select this play button. And now that's back in progress. And then again, you can also select this trash can to the right, confirm that I want to delete that routine. And now it is gone from that screen. So you can continue to add them, take them away, but all routines that are set up here, whether they're through Joy or video or reminders, will all be here in one place. Now back to Joy, her check-in. So for example, those medication check-ins that go through and meal checks, pain and happiness, all of those wellness checks come here and give you the status of that conversation. So I did a couple of these earlier just for an example, but you'll see at the bottom, I have this medication check at 1:45. It asked if I took the medication. I responded no. And it asked me why I didn't take the medication. And I simply said I forgot to take my medication. So that status would come here. And if you are the caregiver, then you would also receive a notification that tells you that that medication was not taken. So that way you can have an intervention in place. And then the next one, I said I did take the medication, so that's still there. I did a meal check. It was around lunchtime. Joy knew that, so I had just put it for 1:49. She checked in and said it's a little after 1 o'clock. I noticed you haven't taken, or I'm checking in to see if you've eaten your lunch today. I said no. So again, that's something that would alert. And then we also did a pain and happiness check where she asked me my pain level for the day and my happiness level for the day. And all of those conversations that I had with Joy will be found under the chats tab. So you can see this last conversation where it says, I hope you're doing well today and I need some information if I was available. Yes. What's my pain level on a scale of 1 to 10? I said about a 7. Again, what's your happiness level on a scale of 1 to 10? I'd say 7. and then she responded with that information and it was uploaded to the app. So all of the conversations that I have with Joy are held in this place, so you can kind of see that transcription of what occurred and what that conversation was. So we'll go back to our check-ins, back to our routines. And really, that is the overview of our AI companion Joy and the couple of features that she is able to do through the app.